everyone. This is Duran's Healing, and welcome to tonight's Healing Circle. For those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel, where I provide weekly energetic updates for the collective. And as I began to blaze this fire tonight, gather around and contribute your very powerful energy. Whether it be a like, a share, subscribe, or comment below to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Duran's Healing, and I provide Cowrie divination readings for the collective. This is a collection of crystals, stones, bones, and a lot of assorted items in connection to the fire, the water, the mineral, the nature, and the earth. This is an ancient indigenous technology system that I use to pull in the messages from the higher energy in order for me to convey what's going on in the spiritual world. And with that being said, I would like to see what's in store for us tonight. What's going on out here in the cosmos. And with that being said, let's get right into the messages to see what the energy has for us tonight. And the message that's speaking the loudest is coming from your spirit guides, your ancestor team, or your higher team. And both of these stones are in the fire. And it's quite unique because of the way that the stones are falling. It's in alignment, which lets me know that the other world is in alignment with the very vibration that your energetic body is connected to. And being that the pyramid stone is showing up right next to these two stones that are here, I can see that you're going to be successful, or that you are successful in the realm of how your energy moves. There is a level of energetic investment that the other world is pouring into you that lets you know that they see something in your energy that needs to be reaffirmed. In order for your aura or your energy to be expressed out in the most confident way. There's something here that suggests that the other world knows that your energy is very different. It is very unique. What they're saying is that we are different. We are very unique. And they're investing in your energy from the other world to reassure that you don't get anything misconstrued about who you are and the very essence of your energy. That's why they're pouring into it. That's why they're in support of you, verifying all that you feel and all that you are. And this will show up in your world in very unique ways because creativity is coming out. Your creativity is in the other world. This is a particular element or characteristic that they're bringing to the forefront, or they're devoting their time and attention to, and the radical change stone is on top of it. And I know I did a bonus reading earlier this week. My days are running together, but I did a bonus reading, and creativity was a part of that story. And what I will do at this time, I want to check in quickly and briefly. I'm not going to pull a lot of cards, but I want to see if this creativity is on the same message, or if they're wanting to bring a different element or add on to this creative message that came out earlier this week. What is this creativity about that the other world wants to invest in? Yes, I can see that it is the very same creativity that was coming out in the previous reading. Because loving thyself 777 duty and heat came out. This creativity that they're investing in, pouring into in the other world has to do with loving yourself and some sense of duty that they have towards you. And heat came out also. Speaking to the fire, speaking to the flames, is speaking to the energetic frequency or the intensity that they have towards your creative endeavor. It's an alignment, or they are aligning themselves with you to let you know that you're on the same page, you're on the same frequency, you're on track. So if you haven't listened to the reading before, take the time out to see what the creativity was about in the previous reading, because there is some level of investment or interest that they're continuing to pour into, creating radical changes from their world so that you know that it is ancestral in nature. It's a larger picture. It's more than what meets the eye. It speaks to the intent of the very reason why they're forcing you to deepen this avenue within yourself, to create, to express. Because what they're saying here is that there is a connectivity or a connection between your creativity and the other world. And the duty you have in this realm is to express itself out. And the doll that represents you is in the flames, showing face up, which lets me know that you may be confused or struggling with understanding the energies that you're feeling or picking up on. You're trying to understand this energy that is radiating around you. Like somebody has their hand in your world or in your destiny, and you don't quite get it. You don't quite see the importance of your creative endeavor, or you may not have figured out how to express yourself out in a creative way. But there is a spiritual component to it, or a spiritual element that is radiating outside of you, because you found yourself here. You enjoy the spiritual nature of being in the other world. You enjoy being in the other world or being connected to the spiritual realm. What I'm seeing is that some of you are a loner. The lone wolf is what I'm hearing. You enjoy how this energy allows you to take on the adventures of life without the burden of subscribing to what you should be doing or how you should be. There is a freedom of the way you move, and it's attracting people towards you because they want to know how you're as free as you are. How did you become to be as free as you are? You don't allow the world around you to shortchange your life's experience because you dwell in the spiritual realm. You do as you see fit. You do whatever excites your spirit, not subscribing to the current paradigm and what the society is telling you that you should be doing at this age, at this time, meeting the dreams and the demands of what people are telling you. That's not the way you operate. No, you operate on a totally different energetic wavelength, which is isolating you from the outside world. And this isolation does not mean you're lonely. It does not mean you're alone. Actually, it's quite the opposite, because you feel so at peace being within yourself. What I'm seeing is that you much rather be by yourself. You don't have to account for people. You don't have to account for people's problems or their issues or their social demands. There's something here about the society's expectation, and you remove yourself from this type of thinking or this type of thought process. It doesn't bother you because the value that you place on your energy is so elevated. You're not weighed down by this. You're not weighed down by perspective, because the value of energy is so much different from your lens. You honor your friends. You honor your role as a aunt, a uncle, a mother, a father. But for you, you show up in a way that you see fit, that is energetically in alignment with your spiritual body. That's a large message here. And the other message that I'm seeing here is that you're quite confused at the level of attraction that people have towards you. Why people want to be around you. Why people are so interested in your energy. Because there is this gap between you and the cowrie shells in the other world. It suggests to me that you deal with people on your own time. If you don't want to talk, you don't talk. You have this space or boundaries placed up surrounding your energy, but you operate on your own timing. And somehow this is still drawing people towards you. This is still sparking an interest in people's spirit. And they're wondering how you're able to cultivate this level of confidence within yourself. That's what I'm seeing. That is this attraction towards you. It's because you respect people's opinion and you allow people the space to say whatever they feel without taking it personal. Because you know people are entitled to their own opinion. But your value is not regulated on people's perspective. Your identity isn't verified on what people think about you. You don't give your power away to people in that way. Your value is otherworldly. You're connected to an otherworldly energy that gives you your validation, that secures who you are in the other world. So when you step into this world, you're quite confused at why people don't have the courage to say what they feel, why people don't have the courage to step outside of themselves to try something different, to try the things that excite their spirit. You're confused at them the very same way that they're confused by you. You're confused at why people allow others to shift which direction they're going, because you're guided by a higher source that's verifying the validity of your spirit in its fullness. That's what I'm seeing here. That's why they're speaking to your aura. This is what's happening due to the other world investing in your energy. But what it's also doing, it is cementing a level of sophistication within this planet, a level of genius, and the fact that your sophistication is between two worlds, is between the fire and the nature, but mostly in the nature. And when sophistication reaches nature, it's in its rightful place. It's similar to a soccer ball reaching the goal. That's where it wants to be. That's the ultimate direction of what the players are trying to do, is to reach the goal. And this is what the other world is shifting. Your sophistication towards nature, so that it can expound itself, express itself in this rightful place. There is something within your energy that is highly scientific, and they're pushing it to its rightful place so that it can come out. But what I am interested in is to see what this level of sophistication that you have is about. Wow, this is a very unique message. What is this sophistication that the other world is guiding the collective's energy towards? And the cards that came out in reference to your sophistication were subspace, dimension, puzzle, the quest to be natural, ancient philosophy, and visions. And what I'm downloading here is that there is a part of your energy that goes very deep. It's hard to account for in the physical world because it belongs to a dimension in the natural world. This is intuition on steroids. This is your intuitive guidance that is attracting other worlds based on your energetic frequency. And this shows up in unique ways. What I can see here is that this scientific energy shows up for you by being able to tap into people's energies on different dimensions, in different realms, on different planes. You can see into people's frequency. You can call a spade before the cards are even pulled. This is how deep your sophistication goes. And people are quite puzzled by your level of knowledge, by your level of intuition when you read or say the things you say about certain energies that you see. Because they're looking at it on a 3D lens. But for you, you're pulling it in from your intuition. You're pulling it in from your senses. And you're able to tap into a subspace dimension that is connecting you to the very vibrations of the planet around you that will sink you into the energetic body of a person's energy, knowing that they're holding a king of hearts, knowing that they're holding an ace of spades, knowing if they're holding the joker or not. And people may call you messy. People may call you a drama-filled person because you're able to call it ahead of time. How do you do it? How are you able to see it so quickly and so intuitively and so deeply? Questions are running through their mind, thinking, who is this person? But it's your sophistication. This is the science that is radiating from your energy on the inside. And this is why it's important that you stay on the quest to be natural, to be yourself, and not shift your energy when you're around certain people, when you're around certain things, because it can clog your vision or your intuition like a toilet. That's how serious it is for you when you try to fit in. It will clog your intuition. It will distort your ability to pull in this subspace energy to give you signs and allow you to read people's hands. And the way that you articulate yourself so confidently, so sure about yourself, that is what's striking people the most, is that you read the level of intuition that you get like a text message immediately. And you don't question it. You don't second guess it. There is a sureness or a confidence that what you are receiving is indeed true. This is making you be seen like an ancient philosopher because of the way you can read it. You can read the energies on a subspace dimension like you're reading a book, knowing what's going to happen ahead of time. But for you, you're just saying what you see in conversation. But people are taking a step back and looking like, how did you know this? And not only that, as you read into their energies, you see the visions that come to you, pictures. As if when you read a book, there is an illustration on the other side depicting what the story is saying, allowing you to see vividly the imageries of the words that are coming out of your mouth. It's twofold. So when you say certain things, it's not only because you're saying it out of thin air. It's also the way you convey the stories or the message that you see. You articulate it in a way because you can see the illustration of the very things that you feel, giving people a clear depiction that they cannot even deny if they wanted to. The way you compact it together is like a puzzle, putting pieces of the puzzle together one by one by way of your words, very quickly, very swiftly, like you have completed a 1,000-piece puzzle in a matter of seconds, giving you the picture of what you just put together by words. This is a high level of science that you have within your energy. You guys, I am very impressed to see this level of science within you. Some of you may not know that this is another piece of the puzzle as to why people are drawn to you. The confusion, the attraction of just your energy is one element. But the second element that they're pushing out into the open is this scientific component to you. When you utter the words out of your mouth, will transform people's perspective, people's reality of what they know to be true. And because they cannot deny what they're hearing, this makes you a philosopher because of the wisdom. It will be viewed or be seen out into the natural world as wisdom, coming from an ancient philosopher that has a depth of knowledge that is endless, that is abundant, and you know this about yourself. You know this because the bell is here, ringing the alarm to how true this energy is, to how true your words are, even if people's minds aren't advanced enough to process the wisdom that you have. You've already processed it in seconds. This is the advancement of your sophistication. This is how advanced this energy is and why the other world is pouring into you in this way. You cannot deny this part of you. You cannot deny, even if you wanted to. Period. Wow, this was a very unique message. Very powerful energy. Thank you all for being here with me in tonight's Healing Circle. Wow, this has really taken me out there. And if you stayed with me thus far in this reading, please be sure to like, to share, to subscribe, or comment below to let me know how these messages are showing up in your world. And because this is our Saturday's reading, I'm going to hang out a little bit longer with you guys to dive back into the stones because there is a pile of shells here that I would like to dive into to see what this message is about. And if you've met your threshold, thank you for joining me in tonight's healing circle. But for those of you who want to stay and go a little bit longer, to stay around the flame a little bit more, I'm going to dive back into the spread to see what these stones are about. And the second message that is speaking the loudest is speaking to the wild side of you. This part of you that is resisting anything that attempts to conform you, anything that attempts to micromanage you. You may be the type of person that have a problem with authority, people telling you what to do, because your energy is so much bigger than that. Your energy is accounted for in the other world. You don't like people hovering over you. You know who you are and what you're about. But somehow the expression of this part of yourself is met with some form of resistance, met with some form of issues, some form of challenges, because the obstacle stone is showing up here. And what I can see is that this may be due to a workforce. You're being restricted to a schedule. You're the type of person that may need to be an entrepreneur. That's one way I'm reading this message. The other message that I'm seeing here, I'm sorry for the breakup of that. But this may be speaking to a breakup in people, or break up in energy from people who attempt to put you in a box. You're resisting that. You're resisting the social construct of how you should be when it comes to friendship groups or social dynamics. You don't like to be in group chats or required to do certain things in order for you to be viewed as a proper friend. You're removing or breaking up from that frame of thinking or that frame of mind and disassociating with people who need, high maintenance dynamics. You're very low maintenance is what I'm seeing here, because what you're viewing it as is pulling on your energy. You don't like it. You don't like your schedule being impacted by things that are mundane, is what I'm seeing here. And you're breaking up that frequency and removing yourself, and you're learning to be okay with it. That's the second message that I'm seeing for some of you. But what I will do is I would like to pull some cards to see what this obstacle is about in reference to the freedom of your energy and what's holding or restricting you at this time. What is this obstacle about for the collective? Oh, of course, the cards fell. What is this obstacle about? And the cards that came out were intimacy, manipulation, transformation, vibration, and oxygen. And what I'm downloading here is there is something within you that is very closely connected to the freedom part of yourself. This is a source of your vitality, the way you're able to be free. Anytime your schedule opens up, this is like a breath of fresh air for you. You get to be and do whatever your soul desires, whether it be resting, whether it be enjoying an activity that you love to do. This is vibrating your energy. There's a sense of vibrancy here. Like this is the time that you look for where you're not responsible for anything or anyone. And what I'm also seeing here is that when it comes to some of you who are closely connected to people, you're starting to see how they're using role. This thing about a role, something you should perform in order to validate who you are to them. Because it's not in alignment with who you are and what you see. For the freedom part of yourself is like a miscalculation. The math isn't mathing for you here. The way you calculate your energy reaffirms the value that people have in your life. So when you're free and you take the time to call your friend, to call your family, to account for the people around you, you are doing this because you do love them and you do have a place for them in your world. And by you being okay with letting the cards fall where they land, this is giving you a breath of fresh air. This will allow you to breathe and get beyond the hurdle of trying to maneuver or shape yourself to fit into a system that doesn't align with your core frequency of being free. But what you will come to find is that your world will transform. Your friendship groups will transform, and you will see that the people that you will align with will understand fully who you are and the way you move. You're able to be this freer part of yourself. You're longing to be free, and you will be free no matter what. Period. Period. Wow, very powerful message, you guys. Thank you all for joining me. Even those of you who don't show up in the likes, show up in the comments, I can still feel your quiet and silent energy here. And with that being said, I'm going to close out tonight's healing circle. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all at the next